Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at some quick little love notes from your person. This is a message cards only reading and there are 4 groups to choose from. I have broken the groups down according to element. So group 1 is for Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, and it is the Rutile Quartz. Group 2 is for air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and it is the clear quartz. Group 3 is fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's the Carnelian. And group 4 is water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, and it's the Labradorite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you are most drawn to today. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi Group 1, or Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. You chose this Rutile Quartz. I'm going to put that right up here and we'll get right into it. I'm going to be pulling 4 cards from 4 different decks and then finishing things off with some initials. So for Group 1, for Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, some little love notes from their person. Okay, and they say you feel like a warm home to me. So your person is really, they're enjoying your energy. They could be very nostalgic about you at this time, about the connection. Okay, and we also have I believe you. So you may have mentioned to this person something about soulmates, about twin flames in the past, and they could have kind of rejected that idea, laughed it off, said that, you know, it was silly, magical thinking, something along those lines, but something has shifted to where they are coming to this realization that there may be something to that. They could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities at this time that, you know, have really kind of caused them to do some research, go down some rabbit holes, and they're finding that they resonate a lot with some of these ideas of soulmates or some high spiritual connections. This can also be in terms of maybe this person had some kind of issues with intimacy in the past. They had a hard time really, you know, believing, perhaps after some heartbreak, maybe they had gone through some infidelity, some cheating, and they had a hard time believing in love or, you know, in their ability to really trust going forward. And so this could be something where they really doubted the connection. They doubted your investment in the connection, or kind of had some doubts as far as if they could trust themselves to open up to love again. And that could have really caused some friction, a wedge in the connection, maybe even caused both of you to go into some kind of a no contact situation. And so this person, I feel in that sense, if that resonates, is really letting you know that, you know, they, through this time, through the separation, they're believing in the fact that, you know, you are very, very honest with them, that you have a lot of integrity, that, you know, you are opening your heart to them with the best of intentions. And they also say, I can see eternity in your eyes. So there could be a past life connection here as well. Something that, you know, might have even spooked this person in the past to kind of pull back from the connection a little bit. This could be kind of overwhelming, something they hadn't experienced before, some kind of sense of deja vu with you. But this is also kind of ties back with that, the feeling of a warm home, just this feeling of safety and of connectedness that, you know, they also see endless possibilities for the relationship, where that can go, possibilities for themselves as far as, you know, parts of themselves that they may have denied or kind of suppressed in the past. Then with you, they feel this ability to just be comfortable, to be themselves, to really open up in ways that they hadn't done with maybe previous partners before. And they also say, you are the song of my heart. So a lot of love that this person is really feeling for you. Again, if you're in a period of separation with them, there's a lot of nostalgia going on. You could be hearing songs that remind you of this person. You could be listening to songs a lot, or they're listening to songs a lot, and kind of finding some messages in the lyrics, or listening to songs that you shared in common, you know, songs you might have sent each other. Maybe they have a playlist of songs you could have sent them in the past, or some songs that they want to send you that, you know, they're listening to these things, and, you know, just really sitting in some kind of deep nostalgia, some very loving energy. They're directing a lot of fond feelings towards you and toward this connection. So let's get some more messages for you. Group 1 for Earth signs. What does your person want you to know? Okay, and they say, sometimes I feel like you want too much from me. So they could have felt a lot of pressure in this connection in the past, whether this was things that you said or did, or, you know, just this pressure to really open up to love. There was that energy of maybe they'd been hurt by love in the past. So they'd kind of, when you met them, they were in a place of being a little bit guarded, being a little bit leery. And this could have been something where they felt really overwhelmed and kind of backed into a corner as the relationship was naturally progressing. Maybe you weren't putting any undue expectations upon them, but this was just something that, you know, it was kind of being triggered from within, these kind of intimacy issues, or, you know, just being kind of skeptical, questioning of love, questioning maybe of your intentions because of, again, heartbreak from the past that they hadn't healed, but that was coming up to be looked at, to be addressed, and to be resolved. And they also say, please forgive me. So if this person had kind of run from some intimacy in the past, or had kind of pushed you away, had lashed out, maybe stemming from a place of wounding, or even, you know, this is kind of tying in as well with if you'd mentioned twin flames or soulmates and they just sort of dismissed that idea, laughed that off, you know, didn't give that a lot of credence. Something has come to their awareness that, you know, they're really seeing that you were right, that there's something to that. They've found some things out, or some things have just become known to them. They've been made known to them, to where, you know, they are wanting to apologize for maybe having misjudged you, having prematurely judged the connection, or having pushed you away or kept you at arm's length in the past. And they also say, this is so hard for me. I am struggling. So this person, I think, is dealing with resolving a lot of heartbreak from the past, a lot of triggers with love, a lot of trust issues that may have come up, unresolved things from past disappointments. And so they're letting you know that they're, you know, while they're thinking very nostalgically about you at this time, there's also, that's kind of a welcome oasis from some of these deeper and heavier feelings that are also coming up for them. So it's kind of nostalgia that goes both ways. It's thinking fondly of you, and then also some kind of painful memories of other love situations gone sour that are, you know, coming up out of the depths of the subconscious, out of the depths of their memory, that are resurfacing at this time to be, you know, addressed and purged and released. And they also say, my heart is yearning for you. So yeah, that's that energy of nostalgia right there. And, you know, this person, it seems like they're going through a lot. They're resolving a lot in terms of their ideas of love, maybe kind of some of their programming about love, or some preconceived notions about love, some wounds that had kind of lingered based on past disappointments, that they were maybe unfairly judging you or this connection, not really, you know, giving the connection a chance, perhaps, out of fear of not wanting to be hurt again, or, you know, just kind of a fear of the same thing that they'd been through before happening again. And so it's something where if they had, pushed you away or kind of closed themselves off, closed their heart off to the potential of love, the potential in this connection, then, they're definitely expressing that something has changed, some clarity has come to them. They long to apologize to you, and they're also working through some of those heavier things, those heavier emotions that have been triggered, that have come to the surface. But there is this desire and this longing to move back in your direction, to reconnect and, kind of build upon that spark that they may have, originally kind of turned away from or tried to extinguish between the both of you. So let's get some more messages for you, group 1. Okay, and they say, you are my favorite work of art. So again, they're thinking of you, they're yearning for you, they're thinking of you very fondly. They're seeing you from a whole new light, where they may have kind of judged this connection prematurely, quickly, or judged your intentions, misjudged your intentions. It's something that maybe even in some distance and some separation and silence, they're being shown things, they're feeling things about you, or admitting feelings for you that they may have kind of suppressed or denied before. And it's this very lovely and a feeling of admiration that they get when they think of you and they think about the idea of reconciling with you. And they also say, I've never cared so deeply for someone before. So this could have definitely triggered them, the intensity of feelings that came up. And that might have been something that was very tantalizing at first. But along with that, there may have been some panic also about heartbreaks of the past, other situations where they had opened their heart only to be disappointed or betrayed. And so when this depth of emotions was kind of being discovered for you, this could have been something that really sort of it made them uncomfortable. It made them kind of hesitant, so they backed away or pushed you away, closed off this connection. But in the separation, in this time since this occurred, they've had this opportunity to just kind of sit with that, explore some of those depths a little bit more privately and on their own. And the truth that they've uncovered at the bottom of it all is this deep sense of belonging and yearning for you. And they also say, I want to dance across eternity with you. So there's more of that energy of the past life connection here. So maybe, this person is even giving the idea to things about reincarnation or past lives that they may have kind of dismissed before, not given a whole lot of thought to, but something is perhaps resonating with them in that capacity, to where, the feelings they have for you and just something, this kind of energy of the deja vu, this familiarity, this feeling of sanctuary. They may be exploring the idea of your souls being entwined in more than just this lifetime, and definitely seeing into a larger purpose for you coming into one another's lives. And they also say 1,000 lifetimes with you would never be enough. So that's more of that past life energy, that entwined soul energy. This can be that twin flame energy as well. So this could be, again, even a title that you had, used, or soulmate, something of that nature that they, didn't know about or said they didn't believe in, but that something has shifted. They've come to some kind of awareness, some kind of understanding. They may have looked into this a little more. They could be researching twin flames. Some of them could even be watching tarot readings, and that they're seeing a lot of things that are resonating for them. Where they may have been kind of resisting the journey before, for a lot of you, they're definitely in their own way, and this could be kind of privately and just not something that they're talking about, but their mind is at least open to this. Their heart is more open to this, and they're finding some credence in something that they may have previously kind of turned away from. So let's get the final messages from your person, group 1. And they say, you are so kind, sweet, and accepting. So this is some of the energy that they really are drawn to in you. It's this feeling of sanctuary. It's this feeling of home where, they really can imagine the best version of themselves in their authenticity, being seen, being known, being embodied, and being fully accepted by you. There could have been a lot of ways, things about their personality, or even ways in which they had expressed love in the past that they could have been shamed for, maybe in childhood, or previous partners hadn't appreciated these things, or had kind of ridiculed them or mocked them, and maybe even pressure from friends or from society about having to be a certain way, or this kind of learned tactic of sort of suppressing emotions as opposed to leaning into feeling into that emotional body and expressing these things. And so they may have been shut down. Their heart chakra might have been quite shut down for some time, based on some programming, expectations, or experiences. And this is something where with you, it's really something has kind of sparked. It's cracked open. They're leaning more into their heart than they have in other relationships, or than they have in a very long time. And so it's drawing them to you. They're liking what they're discovering. In addition to all these kind of heavy, unresolved issues that are coming up, there's also this sweet nostalgia energy, and just this very high vibrational energy that comes through that, it's as they're kind of going at their own pace with this, they're really liking what they're discovering. They're liking the idea of, being able to express some of these kind of hidden parts of themselves. They feel very comfortable doing that with you and in your presence. And so it's something that there's also this draw to reconnect with you, to at least be able to embody some more of these qualities about themselves, experiment with that, experience those things, and see, what parts of themselves have they held inside for too long? What would that different and more authentic version of themselves, what would that look like? What would that be like? And very much in your presence, this person feels comfortable with the idea of exploring that, leaning into that, seeing what that would look like. And they also say, I let you get closer than anyone, and it freaked me out. So there's another confirmation that, the intensity of this energy, or just the connection they felt with you, this intimacy, it may have really triggered some things within them, as far as some wounds related to past relationships, or, just kind of this fear of intimacy, this fear of love, almost like a mistrust of love, that space that they were operating from. And, so they could have really caused them to recoil from the connection, this idea of authenticity and intimacy. They may have become so accustomed to really kind of donning a mask and putting up a facade, and really keeping their true heart hidden. And so when it felt very natural to just express that and explore that with you, it could have been something that was, it really drew them in, but at the same time triggered a lot of kind of like fear of loss, or betrayal, or ridicule, if they were to expose these more vulnerable parts of themselves. And they also say, I have a serious fear of both abandonment and suffocation. So that's confirmation right there about, maybe some past relationships, partners who could have really kind of shamed them, or did not appreciate these more vulnerable parts of who they are. It could have been something where maybe they had been told in the past that they were difficult to love, or a difficult person to be around. And this could have even been in their family, in their childhood and growing up, even in friend circles. So they've kind of learned to contort themselves in a way to be more pleasing to others, to kind of adhere to others' expectations of them and how they should present themselves in the world. And so, there's this fear both of being abandoned for, showing that true side of themselves, showing any vulnerability. And then there's also this fear of intimacy, fear of kind of losing themselves completely to the expectation of others, or expectations of how they are to show up in a loving connection. And they also say, my past mistakes still haunt me. So again, a lot of regret here if they had pushed this connection in the way, misjudged this connection, or, just kind of cut things off before really giving both of you the opportunity to see where things could lead. They are definitely, it feels like, working on some of these triggered things within themselves, some of these issues. At the very least, they're addressing these things, or recognizing these things. On the other side of that, they are also opening their mind and their heart more to the idea of this connection, trying to explore what that means, perhaps why they're even still feeling your energy and feeling the connection. If it's been an extended period of time since you last interacted with this person, then just sensing that connection, it's definitely intrigued them. It's something that, you know, they could only kind of suppress that and run from that for so long, and curiosity's gotten the better of them to where, you know, they've done some research, some things have kind of come across their path, and it's really opening their mind and their heart to you know, exploring this and recognizing that sanctuary, that this is a safe connection. You are somebody who is safe to love, that it is safe to be themselves with you, and to, you know, this is kind of leading them in the direction of wanting to fix some of the triggers and some of the wounds within themselves and make their way back to you. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 1, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person. It's just kind of a confirmation, or it can spell something out, whatever resonates. So we've got T, X, Y, P, J, C, B, L, Q, and M. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell some handmade jewelry and divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2, or air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Chose the clear quartz. Put that right up here. And I'm going to be pulling 4 cards from 4 different decks. So we will get right into it. Messages for air signs for Group 2 from your person. What do they want you to know? Okay, and they say, I would just hurt you more right now. I need to be alone. So if this person is withdrawn from you, even energetically, if they're still in your life, or even if you are just connecting with them energetically at this point in time, and things may feel as if they've gone kind of cold or quiet between you, then this person, it kind of feels like there's some other things that are coming up in their life, some cycles they're having to close out, some other things that they are dealing with. And so they might feel that, they're not in the best headspace right now, or because of all this stress and these other emotions that are going on, they're almost trying to protect you from themselves, from maybe kind of a short temper, or a tendency to kind of lash out because of all these other stresses, all these other things that are kind of disappointing them, and that they're having to work on currently. So they may have kind of withdrawn to process these things, to address these things, or they are also admitting that there are some cycles, maybe some toxicity in terms of relationships or lifestyle habits, even mindsets, that on the higher self level they're recognizing that these things, this behavior, or these things or people that are in their lives, it would only serve to, create more friction in the connection between the both of you. And so they're being guided to remain distant or disconnect. And this is guidance that they are following. And they also say, I am taking my time. We have all the time in the world. So this is more of that energy of this feeling of really needing to work on some things before they are in a place to be able to give in the manner into this connection in which they feel that you deserve. They're not really trying to rush through any of this. They're really, from the higher self level, taking it day by day, step by step. They could be very overwhelmed at this point in time as well, and just not really sure, what to do about it. Maybe a lot of different situations, several tower moments that are happening in their life, or, different situations that are kind of fading out of their reality. Maybe some conflicts with different people, some things with work, and, some family conflicts, or just a lot of stresses that are going on, and so there's this sense of needing to kind of juggle a lot, and that they're interested in working on this connection, but there's a lot of other things that are taking precedence right now that are kind of more time is of the essence, and they are at the forefront. This could be some things happening with work that are really, these are pressing things that need to be addressed right now. There could be some kind of like some conflicts going on with whatever their living situation is. Maybe some things happening with their family that are, taking top priority right now. And so from the higher self level, they're just letting you know that, again, they need some time to kind of sort some of these things out, figure some of these things out. And this can also be in regards to some deep emotions that they have for you, or their ideas about where they want to go with this connection long term. What they want to build with you in terms of the future, that they may be kind of withdrawing to, really soul search, take some time to figure out what do they really want in life. Where do they see themselves in 5 years, in 10 years? Who do they see by their side? What steps do they need to take to make these dreams a reality? And they also say, I will do anything to bring you happiness. So I feel that most of them are really kind of detaching or pulling away, almost out of this attempt to not hurt you, that they feel that they're not really embodying their best self. They feel that they recognize the stresses that they have in their life, or some things that need to be worked out, some cycles that need to be closed out, and it's really as a matter of trying to protect you from kind of that messy work of whatever's happening right now, whatever it is that they're going through. and a lot of you are going to say, that you would be there to support them. You want to help them through this. And I feel that they recognize that. But from the higher self level, they're being guided to, just kind of to not, put undue strain and undue pressure upon you with things that really, these are things that they need to sort out within themselves. These are sort of obstacles that they themselves need to overcome. And so at this point in time, just based on the nature of what they're dealing with, they just don't feel that it would add anything to your life for them to really be present or to try and be a part of your life, or, they don't really have the energy or the bandwidth to work on this connection in a healthy manner at this point in time. So a lot of them are just kind of choosing to stay away or kind of energetically withdrawn a bit. And they say, I am entwined in the thought of finding you one day. So through all of this, through whatever's happening in their life, whatever stress they're going through, whatever they're trying to work out or work through, there is this, again, this idea of just because they're maybe pulled back from the connection or a little bit energetically disconnected from you, this doesn't mean that they're done with the connection or that they're not interested in working on things. There's just some other things that are taking top priority at this point in time, pressing matters, urgent matters. But through all of that, they seem to have some thoughts and some feelings, when they get a quiet moment, that there's almost like it keeps them going through all of this stress, this idea that on the other side of that is the potential to really work on this, that maybe some of these challenges that they're overcoming, they're really, it's almost motivation for them to see that through, to stick with that in the hopes that it can, bring out a better version of self. It can, result in some deep healing so that they can be a more present partner for you going forward. So let's get some more messages for you, group 2. Okay, and they say, true love is hard to find, but I found it with you. So definitely the sense of a lot of them feeling that there are things they need to work on in order to, again, step up and be that best version of themselves. A partner who's able to meet you on equal footing, to really have something to contribute to the relationship. They want to bring a lot of balance to your life. They want to bring a lot of joy and happiness to your life. They're recognizing the unique nature of this connection. And again, they're not withdrawing out of disinterest. It really feels that there's a lot of other things happening in their life right now that they feel need to be resolved, need to be worked through in order to be able to give their full attention and devotion to you in the future. Or it's something where, these are kind of more pressing and immediate matters that are requiring their full attention. But their withdrawal from the connection it does not equate disinterest on their part. And they also say, I don't deserve you at all. So some of them could be dealing with some issues of inadequacy, some self-esteem issues, self-worth issues. This could also have prompted them to somewhat withdraw from the connection emotionally, recognizing that there are some things within themselves or within their life, habits, situations, people that need to be resolved, that need to be released in order for their energy to be a little more positive, for their characteristics to be a little more beneficial to a harmonious relationship. If they have some trust issues, they're recognizing this is something that needs to be worked on so that they can, come into the relationship and have this energy of trust that they are able to offer you and able to embody, as opposed to maybe a skeptical energy or an energy of jealousy or, mistrust that could have stemmed from past disappointments in love, for example. So some things that they really recognize that they need to work on. There's some things, they're not quite at the level of feeling that they are adequately prepared to meet you in an equal and reciprocal partnership at this time. And they also say, please forgive me. So they really are hoping that you're not taking this silence and this separation too personally, that you're not thinking that there's something wrong with you. And from the higher self level, they're expressing this apology. And it may just, be the kind of thing where they don't have the words to really put to that. They might not have been able to articulate that they needed to step away or separate from you, or pull back energetically to work on some other things. That this was very much, it just almost felt like an instinct for them to do that. Perhaps by getting overwhelmed, their coping mechanism has just been to kind of shut down or withdraw in general. So there could be some of that going on as well, that just as they have all these different energies coming at them, they've kind of retreated within themselves to, just kind of hunker down and try to kind of figure this out, kind of just take things one thing at a time, or, to just kind of weather this multiple storms perhaps that are occurring in their life. So they're hoping that you are not taking this too personally, and that there is still the ability to repair this relationship or work on this relationship after they have achieved some kind of stability and some resolution in their life and other matters. And they also say, I can't stop thinking about you. You are always in my dreams. So you could be dreaming about this person a lot. You could be coming to this person in dreams as well, to really offer them some encouragement and, some of that loving energy that helps them as they're going through the midst of some of these other kind of these cycles and this chaos in other ways in their life. So let's get some more messages for you, group 2. And they say, everything I do reminds me of you. So a lot of them could really recognize that there are, again, some cycles that need to be closed out, some things which need to end, which need to change within themselves in order to be the kind of partner that you deserve, in order to step into a version of themselves that they feel is more worthy of a connection with you. And so you definitely could be an underlying motivation here for some of these things that this person is trying to resolve within themselves. And this is also that energy of, as they're going through these other struggles, this other kind of conflict and chaos in their life, that you're energetically supporting them. You're energetically encouraging this person to stick with this, to continue with this process, and to fight through these obstacles. And they say, I can't face you right now. The intensity between us scares me. So this is more that energy of maybe they're just feeling very overwhelmed by a lot of things happening in their life, perhaps then the energy of the connection between the both of you. It's more than they have the ability to handle at this point in time. They could feel very overwhelmed in general. And so their coping mechanism when they feel overwhelmed could be to just kind of go into their shell, to kind of retreat within, to kind of pull away and internalize rather than vocalize what it is that they are feeling. And they also say, I could listen to your voice for days on end. So this person, is really, they're missing interacting with you. I feel a lot of them as they're having some heavy decisions to make, some, a lot of things that are shifting and changing in their life. They're wishing that they could talk this through with you. They're longing for your advice. I feel that, they really miss the conversations that you both have had in the past. That it's something that, it brings them a deep sense of peace. They really respect your wisdom and your opinion on things. And so this kind of also to me ties in with this, everything I do reminds me of you. Some of them could also, as they're kind of making decisions and going through some changes in their life, they could almost be thinking to themselves, what would you do? Sort of wishing that they could really, ask your advice or get some guidance about things. And, maybe even some of them are trying to energetically connect to you just to kind of feel into that, to get that little boost of encouragement, to kind of help them through some hurdles or some challenges. And they also say, I love you, I hate you, I can't live without you. So this confirms that kind of that chaos and turmoil and confusion that could be going on with this person right now. Their energy could also feel very kind of in and out, where, you know, they step towards you even just energetically, and then all of a sudden it kind of goes cold. And this can again be a confirmation of just a lot of things changing, a lot of upheaval. This person they feel almost in the process, they're kind of in this cocoon phase, and there's a metamorphosis occurring within their life. Things that they know themselves that they need to release and change and, you know, kind of move away from. But then there's also some things that they may have been hesitating doing that with. And so there could be some tower moments happening, some divine intervention with this person. And some of this could be surrounding, you know, things that were maybe interfering with your connection in the past. Maybe it was kind of lifestyles or belief systems or some kind of karmic energy, some kind of third-party energy, which could be in the form of another person, or again, a habit, lifestyle, family, you know, work. Any of these things can be a karmic energy. And so there's this almost like this push and pull energy of kind of like stepping towards you, stepping towards, you know, changing some of the things that they know they need to change in order to make this relationship work, and then kind of pulling back, falling into those old patterns, those old habits of being, kind of doing the work and then sort of withdrawing to, you know, just kind of remain in the status quo. So a lot of confusion, a lot of kind of back and forth with this person. And from the higher self, from the soul level, it's definitely part, you know, it ties in with that motivation to just kind of stay away for the most part from you, even just energetically, to be kind of withdrawn, because they're recognizing this kind of seesaw, this sort of back and forth that they are going through in terms of leaning in, doing the work, doing what they, you know, need to do to kind of step their life or this connection up to the next level, and then also this energy of kind of resistance and sort of falling back into what is comfortable and what is known. So let's get the last 4 messages for you, group 2, from this person. And they say, your presence gave me such a reality check on my life. So that is definitely that energy of, you know, this person could be aware of some things in their life that, you know, they need to discontinue, they need to move away from in order to be able to have a successful relationship with you, in order to step into that best version of self, to really be fully present as a giving partner. And so, you know, the connection, the initial connection with you, and even this period of withdrawal, this could almost be energy of like a dark night of the soul that they're in right now, some kind of tower moment that has happened in their life that has really put things into perspective. You could have definitely triggered some kind of spiritual awakening within this person, to where maybe their concepts of love or their, you know, ideas of how they were showing up in romantic partnerships, all of that changed with you. It was kind of like the bar was set a little higher. There was a, you know, this is almost a higher love, and so there's therefore a higher standard of how they need to show up. And this could be something, again, that ties in with just a lot of chaos and confusion and stress in a lot of other areas in their life, in terms of things that need to be resolved, things that are kind of changing or shifting or clearing out. And it's opening their eyes, though, to the potential through all of that, through resisting and submitting to that process, that there's also this kind of underlying idea that this is all for a higher purpose, that, you know, this evolution that is taking place in their outside circumstances, that it mirrors an evolution of the soul and of the capacity to give and receive love. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So they are acknowledging that this can be quite confusing and frustrating for you, this kind of back and forth, this energy that they are in currently, perhaps feeling them, or them, you know, coming towards you in the 3D only to kind of pull back or go quiet. And it's something where, you know, I feel that they're not really able to explain very much of what they're going through. Some of these things could be, you know, tangible in their physical world. A lot of this could just be some emotional turmoil and upheaval that they don't have the words to put to that, or it's, you know, they're in the process of figuring it all out, and, you know, they're not comfortable, or they're not able to explain what it is they're going through. Some of them could be figuring out even what that is, just very confused as far as what they're feeling and what they're experiencing. And so from the higher self level, they're hoping that, you know, when this process is complete, when their metamorphosis is complete, and they emerge from, you know, this kind of shedding and transformational stage, that there will be the opportunity for a fresh start between the both of you. And they also say, I secretly dream of a future together. So yeah, through all of this, through, you know, this chaos and this transformation and this turmoil, there is this hope that on the other side of all of that, that the version of themselves that emerges through all of this, the changed version of themselves, the wiser and more empowered version of self, that it will be somebody that you will, you know, accept into your life, that you will want a fresh start with them, that you'll accept apologies that are owed, that you'll give them another chance, and that, you know, through all of this work and all of this effort, that it will yield the ability for them to create a future with you. And they also say, I'm sorry I took you for granted. So again, another apology there. If, you know, maybe they had, you know, just kind of pushed this connection away as they were feeling overwhelmed by the energy, feeling overwhelmed by maybe some other things in their life. And instead of, you know, leaning into this, looking to you as a support system, they may have just cut things off, kind of closed off, gone cold. And it's something that, you know, they're really regretting that. They're also, as they are going through all of this and they're feeling into your energy, they're thinking back on things, they're realizing that, you know, just how much of an energetic support system you have been to them, just how much, you know, maybe all of these other things in their life may have been subjectively problematic, that you were in fact the opposite of this connection, deeply at the energetic level, at the soul level. It was in fact an anecdote to some of the other chaos or the toxicity that they were experiencing. And it's something that they're really seeing that through new eyes now. They're seeing this from a new lens now that they are, you know, in the midst of kind of dealing with some of these other toxic or dysfunctional kind of lifestyles, habits, people, ideas, that these things are kind of falling away, and, you know, they're really seeing through some illusions in their life. And what's also coming through with that clarity is the clarity of what they had with you. And so that's motivation to continue this work, continue the work on themselves, the journey of transformation, so that hopefully on the other side of that, there is the opportunity for a fresh start with you. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 2, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. All right, so we have B, U, A, Z, S, and H. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Carnelian, or maybe you're drawn to this for a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So I'm going to put this right up here and we will get right into it. 4 cards from 4 different decks. So messages for fire signs in your person. Okay, and they say, I find everything about you so pleasurable and irresistible. So this person has a lot of passion for you. They're very much drawn to you, attracted to you, feeling this connection. And they say, I feel you so strongly, I can taste your essence. So you may be feeling this person's energy around you throughout the day or at sporadic times, very suddenly, very unexpectedly. And I feel that this is very much a two-way street in that sense. This person is also really feeling you. Also, I feel they are kind of deliberately tapping into your energy. There's this sense of desire being magnetized to you, that they're feeling very drawn to you, either by what they are feeling energetically or what they are seeing. Maybe they are seeing you on social media, seeing you out and about. Maybe this is someone you work with, someone you have friends in common with. You could have some kind of limited contact with this person or be in a complete no contact situation. But what they're seeing, how they are experiencing you and really feeling you energetically at this time, it's drawing them in, it's delighting them very much. And they also say, I feel so much joy with you. It's like I'm a kid again. So there's an innocence to this. There's this deep passion, but almost this trust and this purity to this connection. That this is more than just physical attraction that they have for you. There's something about your soul that just resonates with them on such a deep level that, you may really, just even in the way that you are, in your energy and your outlook, your worldview, you may take a very kind of joyous, glass is half full approach to things that could really serve as kind of an anecdote or a counterbalance to maybe some pessimism that they've been in, or just some kind of low vibrational situations, other people that they've been surrounded with. And so your energy is it's very different from maybe those that are in their immediate environment, in their world, or it's very different from the mindset that maybe through experiences or time they've just kind of taken on themselves. So with you, when they're with you, or even just feeling into your energy, it infuses them with this lightness and this optimism that is just, it's so different than the way that their outlook is, or the way that the world is when they are not tapping into that, when they're not with you. It's almost like you brighten up their world in subtle and yet very profound ways. And they also say, my love for you is without bound. So intensity of passion, a deep desire, deep attraction for you. And again, because it's talking about love here, so this is more than just physical attraction. This is on multiple levels. They're very much drawn to you. They're very much attracted to you. They really, enjoy the conversations you have had. They enjoy the way your mind works. They find you physically attractive. They find your very spirit and your essence, the way in which you approach life, and the little things that you appreciate, the way that you carry yourself. All of this is just, it's something that's very pleasing to them, and it draws them in. So let's get some more messages for you, group 3. Okay, and they say, I've been thinking about how I can fix things between us. So if you're in a no contact situation, a period of separation, this person, they're, as they're tapping into your energy, as they're feeling you, as they are, seeing you, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, there's this desire to really remedy the past, to work on wherever your paths may have diverged, anything that came between you in the past, any wedges that might have been there, any ways in which they may have not appreciated you at the time. They're definitely seeing things with fresh eyes, with new eyes, and there's this desire to really move back in your direction, to really work on things, to really kind of take this passion that they have for you in the energetic sense and ground that down into the physical world in terms of building something, building a stable foundation, a solid future together. And they also say, please forgive me. So again, if they, anything where they may have taken you for granted in the past, or, kind of moved away from this connection, there's almost this energy of they're seeing you in a light that they had overlooked before. So maybe they chose another partner, or, chose to go in a different direction instead of kind of leaning into this connection in the past. But in the separation, in the silence, in any kind of distance between the both of you, they're seeing things from a new perspective. They're experiencing you in a new way. Maybe you've gone through some kind of a glow up or a transformation since you were last dealing with this person, and it's something that they're very much, they're liking this. They're really they're liking what they're seeing. They're liking what they're feeling, and it's something that they want to work toward starting a new opportunity with you, opening that door to the possibility of building something again in the future. And they also say, we belong together. So more of that energy of being really magnetized to you, drawn to you, feeling this draw, not just in terms of physical attraction, but on a soul level. They feel that you're so complementary with them in so many ways. There's something that, the more they really take the time to think things over. Maybe this is somebody who's very impulsive in the past, or, was just kind of oblivious to kind of the deeper elements of connectivity between two people. And they could have just really been focusing on, purely kind of attraction, physical energy, sort of like lustful energy. And that's something that, they didn't really have an ability before to show up and invest in kind of the deeper emotional layers of the dynamic. And so that could have really driven you apart in the past. But there's some maturity that has happened, some maturation that has happened, even in terms of what they want for themselves, what they want out of a romantic partner. The qualities that they may value were not something they might have valued or put a lot of priority on in the past, but that something has shifted. Something has changed. They've come to really redefine their expectations for a partner, their expectations of themselves, what they want in love, what they're looking for. And they're realizing that you hold so many of those keys, so many of those qualities you possess, so many of the things that they truly, in the long-term sense, want and desire, that they've experienced that, they've had that with you, or at least the potential for that. So there's this desire to, again, move back in your direction and pick things up where you left off, and really, put in some solid work to building this into something better. And we also have, I am learning to open my heart. So again, some maturity is going on, some maturation. Maybe this person is learning to put some more value upon emotions and emotional connections, something beyond just physical compatibility, but they're starting to really prioritize and hold a higher value associated with things like, intellectual compatibility, and, the almost like this kind of like this soul bond between the both of you at kind of like at the level of purity and innocence of the inner child, almost this feeling of comfort and of sanctuary, and not having to put on airs, but really being able to be their authentic self, to, express parts of them that they may have, suppressed or ignored. And so it's something that they're letting you know that they're learning to open their heart, perhaps also to the idea of deep commitment and lasting love, where they may have previously been focused mostly on, just having a good time. So let's get some more messages for you, group 3. Okay, and they say, I didn't fall in love with you because I have always loved you and always will. So that's that energy of that deep soul connection here, beyond just the physical compatibility, beyond the physical attraction. There's a deep familiarity. There's a deep connection and communion between your souls. And it's something that where they may have kind of taken this for granted in the past or not really put much value on that. They're starting to realize that the feelings they have for you, it's more than skin deep. It's something that goes beyond just, how you look on each other's arm. It's something that there's a deep compatibility here. There's almost this timelessness to these feelings. It's a deeper layer of love than they have experienced previously with anybody, and it's something that they may have really not put much value on that before or not recognized that before, but that something has shifted to where, and it feels really a lot to do with whatever has happened in this silence, whatever perhaps work you've been doing on yourself, stepping into that authenticity, really taking back your power and, kind of fearlessly moving in the direction of your truth and of your higher purpose, that this person is seeing that or energetically picking up on that. And it's really triggered them to, and inspired them, triggered in a good way, to look at some things that they may not have put much value on previously, but that they're starting to recognize and open to some deeper layers of love and the deeper capacity to love within themselves. And they also say, I want to be there for you, to take care of you. So I feel that this is really talking about, this ties in with that learning to open their heart. They really want to be there for you emotionally. They recognize you as somebody who is very much in touch with your heart, very much in touch with your emotions, that you, while you're leading from a logical place, from a grounded place, your heart determines a lot of your directions in life, where you go. You lead with the heart, you trust your heart. And it's something that they're looking to you as an example, either physically, literally, in terms of how you're leading your life, or even just energetically feeling into that, feeling that openness, that vitality with which your energy is expressed out into the world and to them. And it's something that's, they're really motivated to be able to open their heart in a similar capacity so that they can be there for you as a support system, to be a vibrational match for you, to meet you at that energetic level, so that it's not, one person needing to infuse the other, where there's a lot of reciprocity and balance that occurs in this connection. So they're very interested in, the ways in which you energetically feed them and encourage them and support them. They're working to and are interested in doing that for you as well. And they also say, I could listen to your voice for days on end. So if you're in a separation or no contact with this person, they're thinking back on, the time spent with you, and they're really longing for that. There's this desire to make some changes, to create a new opportunity with you, a fresh start with you, so that they could be allowed back into your life, or have that opportunity to really, intersect with you again. To really pick up where you left off, and to explore each other perhaps even on deeper levels than you had previously. If this person had kind of kept things at the superficial level, if they'd not really wanted to go into anything very deep, or had kind of shied away from emotional conversations or things of that nature, then this is something that they want to rectify. They definitely want to open up their heart more to you, and to create a safe space for you to be vulnerable with them as well. And they say, I still have so much to accomplish before I can be what you deserve. So that's a confirmation there of this work that they know they need to do on themselves in terms of getting in touch with their own emotions, being willing and able to open their heart to the potential of rejection, to the bounty of love which wants to come to them, to all these different experiences and emotions, which go hand in hand with leading from the heart space. And it's something that they know that they may have some other things to do in terms of apologies that may be owed, some kind of turmoil between the both of you that needs to be smoothed out before there is this opportunity to start fresh. There may be some things that they need to not just tell you that they're sorry or speak of change, but prove changed behavior through actions, through lifestyles, through mindsets. So some other things that they need to cultivate in their life and release and let go of as well. Some other tendencies maybe that they need to put some time and distance between, those things in themselves in order to be able to come back to you and demonstrate to you that change is desired and has occurred and is ongoing. So let's get the last 4 messages for you, group 3. Okay, and they say, I'm sorry I took you for granted. So that was coming up if they took this connection for granted, if they just tried to keep things at kind of a superficial, casual level, if they shied away from a deep commitment, or when things got to that point, if they just sort of cut things off and maybe chose a third party, chose kind of a more surface level connection, something where there wasn't that deep emotional bond, there wasn't that expectation from them, then that's something that they're having some regret about. They haven't really found that fulfillment. They haven't experienced deep and lasting fulfillment. Something within them, their desires, their needs, their values have changed, or are in the process of changing. And it's something which, as the things which resonated with them, as the things they thought they wanted didn't turn out to be everything they'd hoped for, then they've kind of had to turn within, look within, do some soul searching, some evaluating, some inventory. And what they're seeing is that the qualities and characteristics, and as a person, what resonated with them deepest on the deep soul level, that was you. That was that connection that they may have not appreciated or not really invested time in, maybe even sabotaged the connection in some way in the past in order to avoid sort of the progression of emotional intimacy between the both of you. And so there's some regret in that capacity that they know they need to smooth over and fix before there is the ability to start fresh. And they also say your touch is electric. So this person definitely could have undergone some kind of spiritual awakening, some kind of kundalini awakening through interacting with you. That could have been very overwhelming for them. It might not have even been any direct kind of pressure about moving things to the next level that caused them to kind of retract from the connection or opt for something that was a little more surface level. It could have just been on a very subtle and energetic level, something activated within them. I feel very mutually activated within the both of you. When you met, or the last time you were in contact, or at some point during your interactions previously. And so with that activation, that has really helped to kind of up-level their mindset. It has really helped to upgrade how it is that they are viewing love, how it is that they're viewing themselves and other relationships in their life, being gifted this new perspective, which is, it comes with a higher vantage point, but then it also comes at the price of really being able to see through illusions and recognize what truly resonates and what does not. So that can be, kind of a difficult and heavy process that sometimes involves grieving, and it's, easy in some ways and difficult in others to kind of, let people or lifestyles or situations go that may have really been prioritized for a while, but that, with this clarity, with this kind of upgrade, they no longer resonate. The things that one might have pursued or wanted or resonated with in the past, they are no longer a match. There's no longer fulfillment there. There's a desire for something more. And so this person is kind of acknowledging that this has happened. They are undergoing this process, or this kind of awakening has occurred within them to where, there's some things they need to close out in order to move back in your direction. And they also say, I let you get closer than anyone and it freaked me out. So that's a confirmation there of maybe this intensity of this connection, some kind of awakening, some kind of activation that took place. Or, just even the way that whether you spoke with them about wanting to take things to a deeper level, to the next level, or energetically they were feeling kind of prompted in that capacity to, become more vulnerable than they were accustomed to, or there was just this intensity of this connection this feeling of, really being propelled to get more serious in their life, to settle down. And this could have been something that, with the logical mind, with the ego, they weren't comfortable with, they weren't ready for. It was very sudden and unexpected. And so it could have caused them to really recoil from this situation, which they're having a lot of regret about now. And they also say, my heart will always belong to you. So at the end of the day, at the core of this, through everything that has happened, the distance, the separation, anything that might have come in between the both of you in the past, this person's resistance to commitment even, or to, moving things to the next level with you, or deepening the intimacy and the vulnerability between the both of you. At the bottom of that, at the heart of all of that, there is love for you. And it's something that, as time has gone on, and this clarity that has happened, this energetic awareness that they have of the shifts within you, and just being able to really be able to experience your energy in a different way, perhaps, through the distance, they are able, without all of that external physical pressure of, having to commit or, deepen the commitment, as they're able to just sit with the energy, be with the energy, feel you with them, feel you around them, take their time with that they're starting to appreciate this, not as something, intense, yes, but not as something to be feared. It's an intensity that, promises to really, expand their life and better their life in ways that they can't imagine but can only anticipate at this point in time. So they're letting you know that, there's a deep and abiding love for you at the core of all things, and, they're deeply attracted to you despite what might have happened, what they might have said, or any ways that they may have pushed this connection away. That, and physically they're very attracted to you, but also on the soul level, that there's, your souls are being magnetized back to each other, that, distance may have occurred, but you were never disconnected. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. So we've got Z, C, S, Y, T, F, N, and U. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 4. You chose the Labradorite, or maybe you're watching this because you or this person is a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right up here and we'll get right into it. I'm going to be pulling 4 cards from 4 different decks for messages from your person for water signs. Okay, and they say, I am burning with passion for you. So a lot of attraction right now. You could be really feeling this person's energy, thinking about this person. You could be on this person's mind a lot right now. Very loving thoughts, a lot of desires that they have for you. And they also say, you are the song of my heart. So music can be very significant to this connection. You could be listening to songs that, remind you of this person, or you could be getting some messages through the lyrics of songs that you're hearing. Maybe you have a playlist of songs that this person had sent you in the past that you're feeling really drawn to listen to again. This person could also be listening to music and thinking of you, listening to love songs, or songs that were significant to you, maybe songs you had sent them in the past. They're getting a lot of lyrics through songs. This person could also play an instrument or be some kind of a songwriter. So maybe they are playing love songs and really using your energy, the feelings they have for you as their muse, or even writing music for you. And they say, give me more time. I am not good enough for you yet. So this person has been on a journey, it feels like a journey of self-improvement, of self-awareness. They feel like they have done some work, some progress has happened, some changes have occurred since the last time you were dealing with this person. If this person is still in your life, there could be a lot going on beneath the surface that you don't see, some shifts and changes that have taken place. But there's this feeling of being kind of a work in progress. So maybe this person is just kind of taking a rest from this work they've been doing on themselves, this ascension, this shadow work, and during kind of a quiet period, or during quiet periods, kind of in between these intense transformational energies, that they really think about you. They really feel into this connection. Each layer of transformation may give them a new perspective on the dynamic between the both of you. It may reveal some deeper truths about you, about their feelings, about themselves, about your significance to each other, the reason for you two meeting, or still feeling your energy if you're in a separation or a no contact circumstance. And it's something that you might be picking up on, that because they're in kind of this in-between phase. Kind of some lessons and cycles have been closed out, and they're kind of in that rest period before the next phase of transformation takes place. And so they're acknowledging this energy of a work in progress, and that when they're not focused on change and transformation within themselves, then they definitely are feeling into this, thinking about you very fondly. And almost for some of them, part of this motivation for working on themselves might be to again really step into that best version of self. Maybe this is something that they're aware of, some kind of role that they had in what happened between you in the past, that they are now on a mission to kind of remedy within themselves. Something has been made clear, some kind of wake-up call has occurred, that they need to change, that they can't keep living their life a certain way or avoiding certain things, but that they really need to resolve that, not just in the interest of this connection, but for themselves as well going forward. And they also say, you are my muse. So that was coming up. Maybe this person is writing music for you. They're a songwriter, or they're inspired, I feel, also to change and transform themselves. This connection, or maybe something that you had said to them that needed to change, an ultimatum that was given before you went into separation, that they're acknowledging that, they're changing that, they're doing the work, the inner work, maybe the changes in their circumstances, in their outside world. in order to release the things that interfere with your connection, or that kind of keep them in some kind of stuck and low vibrational circumstances or mindsets. And you're definitely the inspiration for that. I feel also that just kind of feeling into you energetically, or what the way that they're seeing you, maybe seeing you from a fresh perspective, or maybe you've undergone some transformations in your own right, some kind of changes. You've been on a journey of ascension as well. And if they're able to, see you either, at work or through friends, something like that, or on social media, or even just, feeling the shift and the change in your energy, if you're in a complete separation, in a complete period of no contact with this person, that the kind of the elevation of your vibration that they have witnessed or experienced, it's been inspirational to them to really make the changes that they may have been thinking about doing or knowing that they needed to do for quite some time. And you're kind of this motivation, or this, they look to you even energetically to, if you can accomplish these things, this transformation, this shift, then it makes it a realistic possibility for them as well. So let's get some more messages for you, group 4. Okay, and they say, I can't stop thinking about you. You are always in my dreams. So you could be dreaming about this person a lot. They're dreaming about you. You both are meeting up in dreams to connect. Maybe that's the only way you can connect at this point in time. If you are in a complete period of separation or no contact, even if there's this desire on the 3D person's part to reach out, they may recognize themselves as a work in progress, or acknowledge that there's some things they need to close out, that they need to figure out, maybe even, trying to find the words to say to you, to apologize for anything that happened in the past, or to really articulate what has been going on with them, the shifts that have taken place. And so they're kind of maybe staying away while that happens, while they finish kind of this metamorphosis. So this can also be something where, you're meeting in the dreams, because that's what's possible right now. That's what you have right now. If maybe, you've blocked this person, or if they've blocked you and they're not, ready to kind of take down those blocks yet, or they don't know a way around the blocks you've put up. So meeting in dreams, meeting in the astral realm, in the higher levels, through your higher selves, your 5D selves. This is something that, a lot of them are tapping into very deliberately, or even unconsciously. Even in the dream state, this is occurring to, keep the connection alive, keep them reminded of this, keep this on the forefront of their mind, and also as a way to exchange energy between the both of you, that you really energetically support each other in this process of change and transformation, and you're a source of healing energy for each other as you go through these different phases of your experience. And they also say, I regret walking away. So if this person cut off contact, ghosted you, blocked you, in any way ended the connection, it's something that as they're working on themselves, they're having a lot of regrets for maybe pulling away as opposed to leaning deeply into this connection. They're seeing you with fresh eyes. They're seeing the potential of this connection from a fresh perspective. They're appreciating you and this connection in a way that they hadn't before, or weren't capable of before. And so this regret is also some of this motivation, this energy of the muse to really, make these changes, make these transformations, so that they, can come into a more aligned version of self and have a better chance of starting fresh with you, because they're acknowledging, the transformation, the up-leveling that has taken place with you, and they're understanding that, the tools that they were operating with before, and, the perspectives and the way that they were interacting with your energy, showing up in the connection before, that those methods, that energy, that won't work in this new vibration that you hold. And so it's necessary for them to continue to do this inner work, to, not just for themselves, but to be on that level, ground with you, that level of vibration, that resonant vibration, to be able to step forward and have something very tangible to offer. And they say you will always have a place in my heart. So even if this person walked away from you, there's still a lot of love there. There's a lot of love that is motivating them to at least work toward the possibility of a fresh start with you. Despite what they may have said or done, or any kind of silence, no matter how long that's been, the love that they have for you, it is never diminished. And we also have please forgive me. So yeah, that ties in with the I regret walking away. This person, feels an apology as, oh, they're seeing something, they're seeing you, this connection from a new perspective with fresh eyes. And it's something where, they could be in the process of formulating that apology, trying to articulate what they want to say, and that could be keeping them at a distance. It's also something that, as this clarity is coming, as this transformation happens with them, and they are working to stepping into that better version of self, that more healed and aligned version of self, then, there's this, with that energy of regret is this hope that there can be this fresh beginning, that bygones can be let as bygones, and the past can be the door can be closed on that, and through demonstrations of change, through changed action, more than just words of change, but through concrete tangible evidence of that, they're hoping that this will be sufficient to lay the foundation for starting fresh with you in the future. So let's get some more messages for you, group 4. This person, what do they have to say? Okay, and they say, I know who you are to me. So this person could recognize you as a soulmate, as a twin flame. Maybe this was something they had denied in the past, or, the love of that nature, topics of that nature. It could have been something that really sort of turned them off. They might have, had some intimacy issues in not knowing even much about soulmates or twin flames or anything at all. Just the connotations there, the sound of that, it could have been very triggering for them. It could have been something where, the space that they were operating from before, they weren't prepared to be emotionally vulnerable, to really, go into a deep emotional relationship with somebody, to show up in their most vulnerable state, and to work on healing together. But this is something that a lot has shifted for them, a lot has changed for them. They've come to this awareness, these realizations, and it's something that awareness and that realization, it's more of this energy of the muse and its motivation to work on what they can about themselves in order to really have something solid to offer you, some solid evidence of change to provide you with, that will hopefully it will hopefully be enough to have you open your heart to them and to the possibility of starting fresh with you in the future. And they also say, I always hope to have you in my life. So there's again this energy of really wanting to come back, to reconcile, that they still need to do some work on themselves, but at the end of that, they do see an end to that, an end to this process of transformation, and they're really hoping that this version of themselves that they step into, what comes out the other side of all of this this change and these cocoons, and this once they emerge from all of that, they hope that this is something that's a pleasing vibrational match to you, that you like what you see, you like the changes in them that you see. And they also hope that whatever has happened, or however much time has gone by, that the feelings that you once had for them still remain, and that's enough to really spark this connection again, and to work on building something fresh. And they also say, I feel like I've been missing you my whole life. You're my lost paradise. So this is that energy of the soulmate, of the twin flame, this connection between you at the soul level that they are coming to realize, they are coming to appreciate, perhaps for the first time or more deeply than they did before. And it's again this energy of really feeling drawn to you, drawn back to you. this part of the motivation for working on themselves is in the hopes that, you know, they have something to offer. They have this energy of change to offer, to really step up to be that vibrational alignment with you, so that you can work on creating more of an energy of harmony in your connection, or there may have been, you know, some disappointment or kind of conflict before. And they also say our love can power galaxies. So they are experiencing this as a higher level soulmate, as a deep soul connection. Their, you know, worldview may have even expanded as well. They could have really stepped onto a spiritual path. This person could have been kind of focused extremely on the mundane world previously, very logically minded, and now they're starting to dream bigger for themselves. They're starting to see things with a wider lens, with an open heart, with an open mind. They could be more open mind to the idea of soulmates or love in general. It's something where they're definitely wanting to move beyond the parameters of wherever you left things in your situation previously. They're wanting to, you know, expand into new territory with you, to, you know, even explore some emotional depths that they have never encountered with anybody before. They feel very much, it's an energy of hope and of courage to see what the future holds for you. What potential is there? What can you build out of this? Instead of, you know, running from this connection, running from this energy, there's this aspect of curiosity of what would happen by leaning into it. You know, what can be uncovered through surrendering to this, to giving to this, to receiving love from this in a way in which they might not have been capable of before, or were unable or unwilling to do. So let's get the final 4 messages for you, group 4. Okay, and they say, I let you get closer than anyone and it freaked me out. So yeah, the emotional intensity, the depth of this soul connection could have really triggered something, could have really sparked something. It could have instigated some kind of spiritual awakening within this person, or just a level of, you know, vulnerability, emotional vulnerability, the deep connectedness they felt to you at the soul level that, you know, they're very attracted to, they're longing for, they're yearning for in this period of separation. When you last were dealing with this person, it really could have overwhelmed them. It could have been very unnatural to them, very alien to them, to where, you know, their instinct was to kind of run from that as opposed to lean into that. But now they're in this place of really wondering what would happen with the opposite choice. What would happen if instead of running from this, you know, they pursued this? For a lot of you, they've made that shift. You could perhaps even feel this shift in the energy where maybe this was kind of a runner-chaser dynamic. You perhaps got to the point of discontinuing the chase, which sort of, you know, this person felt that energetic release, that energetic withdrawal from your part of what might have been, you know, this constant energy of pressure, of pursuit that kept them along, headed in the trajectory in which they were, you know, going. And when you changed course, when you shifted your focus, you shifted your energy, you poured that love back into yourself, really, you know, actively taking a role in stepping into the best version of you, as opposed to, you know, devoting so much time and attention to really trying to pull this person back into your life, or, you know, really kind of feeling into their energy, kind of this energy of pursuit. When you shifted that focus and you instead pursued your own interests, your own abundance, your own best version of self, it caused this person to feel that void, that disconnect, and they've kind of shifted back around, and now they're headed in this other direction. Now the roles have kind of reversed, and so where they may have been sort of freaked out by that feeling of pursuit before, they're now missing the presence of your energy. And so for a lot of you, they have, you know, course corrected or are in the process of that, of making their way back to you. And they also say, you're so much stronger than I am. So they're really recognizing some changes that have occurred with you, some ways in which you've taken your power back, in which you're focusing on your abundance, your prosperity, on living your best life, on standing in your authenticity and embodying that in all ways. And they're really admiring that. It's definitely this energy of, you know, the muse as well. It's an example that you've set for them, even energetically. It's something that they're recognizing, they're appreciating, they're very much drawn to, they're magnetized to, and you know, they're looking to that as an example. It's also something that, you know, they're recognizing that energetically you're supporting them through this, that these changes in this transformation could be kind of difficult for them. I mean, change is never easy for anybody, but you know, this could be a particularly stubborn person that you're dealing with, and so they may be extremely resistant to change, but it's something where, you know, you've helped energetically support them through this to kind of you know, enter into these emotional depths within themselves, to face their shadows, to recognize some parts of themselves they may have repressed or denied, to recognize the ways in which, when confronted with love, they may have run as opposed to really embracing that. All of this is very, you know, it's been very difficult for this person, some kind of painful and stark realizations that they may have had. But they're also acknowledging that, you know, the consistency of your energy, even if you shifted your focus and, you know, discontinued your pursuit, that, you know, in their heart, deep within their heart and soul, you're always there. You're always connected with this person. This is definitely strong twin flame energy here. And so once they've learned to kind of seek your energy out, to seek you out within their heart, they're recognizing your energy and that this connection as a source of strength for them, as a source of inspiration to them, this motivation to continue with the changes that they are tasked with undertaking. And they also say, you inspire me. So again, more confirmation of that muse energy. They're very much inspired by the changes that they've witnessed in the 3D or have energetically felt in you taking in your life. That is really, it's taken a lot of the pressure off of them. It's really given them this opportunity to feel more into their own truth and to make choices to change. And they also say, I want you here with me. So this is a great message to close this reading for you with, group 4. This, again, this desire to really make their way back to you, to smooth over any kind of miscommunication or anything that happened in the past, any ways that they may have kind of run from this. There's now the energy has shifted to, you know, this person may have been the runner and they're now shifting or have shifted to be the pursuer. And so this is a great step in the transformation, in the balancing out of energies of, you know, both of you, kind of the tables turning. You're now walking in each other's shoes in a way, in terms of the flow of the energy between the both of you, having this ability to really shift, to really flip, and to be able to, you know, experience maybe what the other might have felt, to be able to experience, you know, the energies that you were desiring to step into. You know, perhaps if you were the runner, or the chaser, and so it was this energy of pursuit. You're pursuing with the desire of receiving love, and when you discontinue that pursuit, the one who was running has that ability to then recognize kind of the void of this constant energy, this constant of love that they were maybe taking for granted, and using that to kind of propel them along their journey without really giving back. And now there's this opportunity for them to give. So the person who was originally the chaser now moves into this state of receptivity, and, you know, in a way kind of gets what they were looking for the whole time, you know, that kind of the reciprocity, this person then having the desire to fill that cup, and instead of, you know, being in the active reaching out for it, having moved into this state of being open to receive, that's when that energy has the ability to come back in. So definitely some shifts taking place here, and, you know, this person really having recognized and appreciated this connection, this energy with you in a new way. So whatever you've been doing, keep that up, because it's really, you know, it's helping this person to have this energetic space that they need to make the shifts that are necessary to come to these realizations on their own, and to really exercise free will, to make the choice to do the work for themselves, to do the work on themselves in the interest of this connection, and to actively be able to take that role in making their way back to you. So I'm going to close this reading out for you, group 4, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have B, X, T, P, F, H, L, and I. So those are your messages, group 4. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.